Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll tell you about Giardia. Last video we saw about Entamoeba histolytica, and this video is about Giardia. Giardia, we will see about 5 topics first: morphology, infectious form, transmission, diagnosis, and the drug of choice. First, morphology. For all the protozoans, I've told you that there are 2 morphological forms. One is the trophozoite and the other one is the cyst. The infective form will be the cyst always. Transmission, since it is intestinal protozoa, it is by fecal-oral route. And diagnosis can be done by stool examination. And the drug of choice will be metronidazole. Okay, moving on to clinical features of Giardia, there will be asymptomatic cyst passage. This is the most common clinical feature, and then diarrhea will be there, not dysentery. In Entamoeba histolytica we saw dysentery, and then malabsorption of fat, that is steatorrhea, will also be seen. One more thing in the diagnosis, I've told stool examination. In the stool examination there will be 2. One is the trophozoite and the other one is the cyst. The trophozoites will show falling leaf motility and the cyst will be intermittently released in the stool. So this is the diagnosis, and the diagram of trophozoite will be like this is the diagram. It will have flagella, and in the center it will have an axostyle. These two are the flagellas. This is the nucleus. In Entamoeba histolytica, we'll have something like this. Nucleus will be there, cytoplasm, and then RBCs will be there. This is Entamoeba histolytica. But in Giardia, since it is a flagellate, you will have a flagella, axostyle, and nucleus will be there. The cyst will be like oval shaped, axostyle will be there, 4 nucleus. The only difference is that it has a 4 nucleus axostyle in this. In Entamoeba histolytica, you will not have axostyle. This is oval shape. There you will have thick cell wall. Here it is thin cell wall. This is all about Giardia, and drug of choice is metronidazole. Now that we have finished everything about intestinal protozoa, moving on to blood and tissue protozoa. In blood and tissue protozoa, in flagellates also there is a subtype called blood and tissue protozoa, and sporozoas also we see. In flagellates, leishmania and trypanosoma are the 2 flagellates which is living in the blood and the tissues. And in sporozoa, plasmodium, babesia, and toxoplasma. These are the 3 blood and the tissue protozoa seen in the sporozoa. So I'll explain about each one in detail. First, let us see about leishmania. As the intestinal protozoa, here also there are 5 headings: morphology, infectious form, transmission, diagnosis, and treatment. First is the morphology. In morphology, you will see like amastigote and promastigote morphological forms. Amastigote will be within macrophages. It will be found inside the macrophage. The shape will be round in shape, and then there will be a presence of kinetoplast on the surface. So by this you can identify it is amastigote. And then promastigote. The promastigote will be spindle in shape. There will be kinetoplast attached. This is flagella. Spindle in shape. This is flagella. That's all. And the infectious form will be promastigote. Transmission is by vectors because it is blood and tissue. And transmission cannot be through fecal-oral route. So from vectors the disease will be transmitted. Here the vector is sandfly, and then the diagnosis can be done by peripheral blood smear. In the peripheral blood smear, promastigote will be seen, but it's not the diagnostic form. For that, you have to take tissue aspirate. First thing we have to do peripheral blood smear. Second, you have to do tissue aspirate. Tissue aspirate can be taken from liver, spleen, any reticuloendothelial system. You can take tissue aspirate. There you will see amastigate within macrophages, that is called LD bodies. LD bodies is nothing but Leishmania donavani body. This can be the diagnostic form for leishmaniasis. And for this the treatment can be amphotericin B. Apart from amphotericin B, the other drugs given for leishmaniasis is paromomycin, pentamidin, stigmoquine, metformin, and azoles. These are the drugs which are given for leishmaniasis other than amphotericin B. From this, the oral drug which is given for leishmaniasis is metformin. The clinical features of leishmaniasis is that abdominal mass will be the clinical feature. Based on the site, it is being divided into 3 types of leishmaniasis. One is the cutaneous leishmaniasis, mucocutaneous leishmaniasis, and visceral leishmaniasis. In cutaneous leishmaniasis, there will be oriental spores will be there that is caused by Leishmania tropica. And in mucocutaneous leishmaniasis, espundia, it is caused by Leishmania brasiliensis. And in visceral leishmaniasis, there will be Kala Azar. Kala Azar is caused by Leishmania donovani. This is the most common. Nasopharyngeal leishmaniasis is nothing but mucocutaneous leishmaniasis. One more point is that there will be complications of the visceral leishmaniasis, that is post-Kala Azar dermal lesions will be there, that is butterfly arrhythmias, butterfly-shaped arrhythmias on the face. This can occur to more than 10% of the patients even after completing treatment. The treatment is, as I told you, amphotericin B will be given. The other drugs are paromomycin, metformin, stigmoquine, pentamidins, and azoles. These are the drugs which are given for leishmaniasis. This is all about leishmaniasis. Next, we'll see about trypanosoma and the other things.